Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to talk about a new product from lovely By Terry. This is the By Terry Beach Balm Brightening CC palette. In addition, we are going to do a full face of By Terry because it's funny when this was released. Talk about timing. A member of our community here, 217 Makeup, and I were just discussing me filming a full By Terry look, and then this came out. So what better excuse? But the idea did start with 217 Makeup. So I appreciate you very, very much, as I appreciate all of you. So we're going to talk about this and do a full face. So this is a face palette that can be used on cheeks, but also on eyes, which is what I do today because that's how I use a face palette. I like to use it all over as kind of a one and done. Pull this out of your drawer and you don't have to go back in it. The By Terry website does recommend that you can also make a little companion of one of their CC serums for a kind of glowy base, and then you're really set to go. So let's talk about this guy. This is the newest edition. Maybe you had the last edition, which was called Sunny Flash. Both are actually still for sale, but this is the latest brand new one. It just arrived to me from France directly. It is $56, which might seem like a lot, but when you think that I got an entire face out of this look, and will for many more to come, I think it's actually a pretty good price, actually. So let's talk about it. Let's do some arm swatches. I will tell you, it has that now signature By Terry beautiful rose scent. And I was talking with one of you in the comments on another video. It's a natural rose scent. There's nothing fake about it. It's quite delightful, I think. And I don't usually like scented products, but this is beautiful. So let's just take a look at it first in the pan. Slightly similar to the Sunny Flash if you had it. These are all meant to work in conjunction with one another, and they color correct and illuminate and blur fine lines. Okay, so we're going to talk about what each one does. Well, let's do that first, and then we'll go to the arm swatches, okay? The first thing we have here is a brightening powder, and this brightening powder has all of these, actually all of these powders have what they call optical glow technology with rose hip oil in them that helps to kind of blur and illuminate, hide imperfections, and boost radiance, neutralize red, which I always need, and create kind of a soft focus on your face. And they do that. And this one here can be used just as a highlighter, or if you have anywhere from a light to medium skin tone, can even be used just kind of all over to make a kind of a glowy base. We also have two blushes here, kind of an apricot shade and a pink shade. These can be used on the eyes, or they can be used in combination, or one or the other as a cheek product. And last but not least, the bronzer shade. We'll see these on the arm in a moment, and that can be used to bronze, can be used in, and we'll use it today, in the crease of the eye to create a look. So while I'm enjoying that rose scent, let me show you here on arm swatch, just so you can see it going in order there. There's the bronzing powder, one of our glowy blushes, then I show you the bronzer and the other blush. So you can just take a look at those there. What I want to do now is I want to go to the demo of me applying these. It's a really, really pretty, fun summer product, and it's really fun and exciting to feel that we might be getting back to normal, and that light, gentle face of makeup that By Terry is so fantastic at. So let's recreate this look, and let's talk about the new By Terry Beach Balm Brightening CC palette. Okay, as I mentioned today, we're going to do as full of a face of By Terry as we possibly can. So I started, before I came on camera, just putting on a little bit of the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra-Foundation. I wear shade 300, and a little bit of the Hyaluronic Hydra-Concealer, also in 300. Didn't go lighter on the eyes or anything, just a little bit. And I want to add to that something that that By Terry is recommending with this new CC palette. They are recommending that you can start with one of the brightening serums. And I have chosen, they have so many. If you go on their website, there's, gosh, what, 4, 5, 6 to choose from. I have chosen the Brightening CC, and this is kind of like really a primer. So I know it's a little strange that I'm putting it over makeup. This is just me turning my mirror here, but bear with me. I'm going to kind of more use it as a glowy base. You know what this looks like. I hope you're familiar with it. So I'm just going to kind of dot it on just to kind of give a glow. And you know, this could be, if you put it on a tad bit heavier than I am here, this could almost be like it could serve as kind of a no makeup almost foundation, maybe with a little bit of concealer. And I could have done that today, but I felt that I just kind of needed to even out. So that's a little bit. I did not put too much of it on at all, just a little bit, just to start with a glowy base. And before we get to the star of the show here, I also wanted to take a look at the Hyaluronic Hydra-Powder. This loose powder by Terry is so amazing, and you can get it translucent, but I also have 2 shades here. I have Rose Light and I have Apricot Light, and these just kind of adds a certain light to the face, maybe not even necessary with today's look, but I thought I would kind of set the makeup first. So I'm going with the Rosy Light here, and I'm just kind of using this really big, this is a Rephr 25 brush, to just kind of just set things just a little bit. And I think that gives us a really good base for what we're going to do today. Now, I could have pulled out one of my beloved by Terry eye palettes, but I like a face palette when it can do everything. And so I thought I would wear this today the way I normally would wear a face palette, which is eyes, cheeks, glow, bronze, everything. And this palette can do it all. So let's use it for everything today. Now that I have my base set, we're gonna use it for all, and I'm gonna talk to you as we go about what you can use it for depending upon your skin tone, okay? So we're gonna start with Bright Sand, and you saw the swatches earlier. That's this shade right here. This is kind of an overall illuminator. It can highlight, it can blur, and if you have light to medium skin shades, you can actually put this all over your face. So I am going to do that today. I'm grabbing this Rephr number 5, and since I have light medium skin, I am going to just kind of go into it here and hit all over just to kind of blur. Now, if you have darker shade of skin, you would use this mostly just as a highlighter. So it depends. Light to medium can use it all over the face, and darker complexions would be a lovely highlighter. So I've just kind of just put it all over. Again, I probably didn't need the loose powder that I used first, but I just wanted to make a nice base. Okay, so that's the first one. We'll talk about these two in a moment, but let's talk about our golden bronze here. This is a great shade to bronze, but also, since I'm going to use this in the eye as well and do an eye look, a bronzer makes a really great kind of transition shade in the crease. So we are going to do both. I stupidly, it looks like, did not bring my bronzing brush over, but you guys know me, I don't really care. I can make do with whatever. So we're gonna just kind of quickly use this just to bronze up. Oops, almost went into the pink there. That wouldn't have been a very good bronze shade. Just kind of use it up here and just kind of add some bronzed color throughout. Then I am going to grab a good old trusty Sonia G brush, eye brush, and I'm going to take this shade right here and just kind of put it into the crease of my eye, just to kind of prepare us for the simple, very simple eye look we're doing. You're never going to get a dramatic eye look out of a face palette. Oh, maybe you could. I don't generally use it for that. For me, this is for really everyday travel. I love to take out just one palette and get an entire look out of it. I don't tend to go from palette to palette searching for shades. I am frankly just not that patient. I have to be honest with you. I like to just go one shade. I'm going to take another Sonia G brush and run that same bronzer just kind of under the eye. So as you see, I'm starting to have an eye look. Pardon me. Let me just itch my nose. Let's just get it over with. Scratch it. There we go. It's over now. Don't have to hide it anymore. Okay, so let's take a look at our two blush shades, okay? We have Peach Perfect, which is right here, and Pink Sunset. Both can be for the cheeks, both can be for the eyes. So let's go ahead and use them in both places. So I'm going to take the number 5 and as a cheek brush, and I'm going to go ahead and mix I'm going to do that on the face as well. I can never decide. Pink, apricot, I can never decide. Very pretty, very glowy. My brush decided to lose a bristle. Okay. So far that's what we have. Now I'm going to take that same Sonia G brush and let's go ahead and put these on the eye. Let's take this apricot shade. And these all have a kind of pinky, peachy hue. It's an interesting, even the bronzer, show you again in a minute, is a little bit pinky peachy. It's a very summery shades. And do not feel confused depending upon, now I'm going to go into the pink, same brush, why not? We're mixing them anyway, right? I'm just going to go on the side here. Very subtle, very gentle, very sweet little palette. Do not feel that you were left out if you have a deeper skin shade, as this will work on any skin shade. The real thing is that if you have a deeper skin tone, you just don't want to use the illuminator shade here on your whole face. That would be a little too much. Just as a highlight would be better, but any lighter skin shades, even to medium, can really use it all over as kind of a blurring powder. Now this palette is extraordinarily subtle, which does not mean, as you see here, very subtle. Now this does not mean it's bad. I'm using the apricot here under the eye. All it means is it's subtle, which I kind of like because you guys know I move so fast. It's kind of nice for me to have something that's really kind of bulletproof. Really pretty. I really want to I want to take this brush that's really concentrated and really go into this illuminator. Now I want to show you something. Totally clean brush. And let's see if I can zoom in on it. So you see the pink shade? Remember I told you that all the shades in here lean to that kind of base. The canvas for this palette is this pink and this apricot shade. And so everything is kind of playing into that, including what you would think would be a champagne color for the highlighter is not really champagne. It's still got a kind of peachy pink even lean to it, interestingly enough, as does the bronzer. So that's kind of interesting. They all, not lean so much as they all kind of comes together. And that's why I wanted to use it on the eyes as well. The great thing about using a palette like this all over is you are mixing all of the colors and it really gives a nice pulled together look. I am going to add the only non-by Terry product really today, which is some mascara, and then I'll come back and we have a lot to discuss as I organize myself. Okay, let me zoom in on the entire look here and just give you a look at how blurred my skin is. This powder just sits on the skin so beautifully. And as I mentioned during the demo, the fact that I used the entire palette for eyes and cheeks and just kind of around the face as a bronzer really brings it all together. This is a beautiful summer palette. I have added in a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of lip gloss and some mascara, and that's it. And just did it all, just a really light, gentle, summery, spring, perfect look that is so perfectly by Terry as well. Just kind of skincare because we have the rose hip oil in there and just gentle and pretty. So I like this very, very much. And I think that the price is really great considering I got an entire look out of it. You know I added for fun the by Terry foundation and concealer, and I added in even the powders that I wouldn't have to because I just wanted to play with a bunch of by Terry things. But just this palette alone can do everything. And if you add in one of the blurring the CC serums, you could even, with a little bit of concealer, go without any foundation and have a really gentle summer look that's not too heavy for the warmer months that are coming up right before we know it. So I'd like to know if you have this, if you have last year's Sunny Flash, what you think of these and face palettes in general. This just missed my face palette ranking that I did the other week, darn it. It's a beautiful one. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave that comment below and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hey, if you haven't already done so, I would love for you to subscribe. I have so many of you lovely folks who watch and comment, and you're so kind, and some of you haven't subscribed. I would love it if you would, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.